What a brilliant idea failed because people are stupid. In our city, we have smart highways that monitor speed limits and lane closures when traffic slows down or when there is congestion in one lane. These systems are managed by sophisticated computers with complex algorithms, and if you follow the system's guidance by reducing your speed or changing lanes, you can avoid getting stuck in traffic. However, people don't like being told what to do. So if I, for example, reduce my speed to 60, some reckless driver who is nearby will accelerate to 110 or higher, causing chaos in the traffic jam when they eventually encounter it. This leads to the creation of phantom traffic jams, when the speed of the car flow decreases for no apparent reason or over many kilometers before the source of the slowdown, even though the smart highway system was specifically designed to prevent them. But people are foolish and impatient, so it doesn't work as intended. In the park of the city where I used to live, there was a large sign right above the main entrance that read, "Please clean up after your dogs." Trash bins were placed throughout the park, with dog waste bags provided for dog owners to use. Despite this, people refused to clean up after their dogs. The park administration posted an announcement that dog walking in the park would be prohibited if people didn't start cleaning up after their pets. People responded, "Terrible park, covered in dog poop. There's nothing that can be done about it." After a few weeks, instead of the old sign, a new one appeared, "No pets allowed." From an article in Mental Floss, Americans fell in love with the quarter-pound McDonald's burger back in 1972 when the franchise first introduced its legendary burger to the country. In the 1980s, the fast food chain AW attempted to capitalize on the success of the quarter-pounder and create some competition for Ronald McDonald by introducing a third-pound burger. Consumers could buy a larger burger for the same price. The price was the same as the quarter-pounder, but there was more meat. The results of blind taste tests even deemed it tastier. Consumers preferred AWS burgers for their flavor. However, when it came to actual purchases of the third-pound burgers, most Americans simply didn't buy them. Frustrated, AW executives commissioned more research and focus groups. When they surveyed people who preferred the smaller McDonald's burgers to the third-pound burgers from AW, the reason became clear: Americans didn't know how to divide. More than half of the focus group participants were puzzled by the price of our burger. Why, they asked, should we pay the same amount for a third-pound burger as we do for a quarter-pound burger at McDonald's? You've clearly raised the price. Seriously, people thought that a third of a pound was less than a quarter of a pound. In the end, 3 is indeed less than 4. Sales on online classified ad boards. In today's age, people either offer absurdly low prices or freak out, thinking that you want to charge them an exorbitant price. I tried to sell my car there, and it was an absolute nightmare. People offered a quarter of the asking price, didn't respond to emails, and asked silly questions like, "Can you fit a coffee mug in the cup holder?" I spent 3 months battling people's foolishness, and in the end, I gave up and sold my car to a car dealer at a very reduced price. I remember when NFL Blitz arcade machines with built-in memory card readers for the Nintendo 64 appeared, so you could save your progress in the game. I recall how, after a week, I excitedly brought my memory card, only to discover that someone had stuck chewing gum inside the slot. I don't know why, but that's the first thing that came to my mind. When JC Penney stopped running sales and began adopting an honest pricing strategy, they came close to bankruptcy. In our town, there is a paint store that employs a very profitable marketing strategy. Approximately 90 of their products are displayed with price tags that read, regular price $200, sale price $49. I work as a painter, I paint walls, and I often buy paint from them, and I've noticed that they always have a sale. And people constantly pass by the store, saying they have great discounts, not realizing that it's not actually discounts, as their prices are never higher. Baggage claim at airports is complicated by people's persistent desire to stand right next to the conveyor belt while waiting for their luggage. Folks, step back by 3 meters. When your luggage comes around, calmly approach the open area in front of the conveyor, collect your luggage from the belt, and then step back again. The space will be free once more, and everyone will have the opportunity to spot their luggage from a distance. No one will have to shoulder their way through or dodge other people's suitcases to avoid getting a black eye. Only once, in Italy, I saw a conveyor that was separated by a brightly colored barrier, which could have been avoided if people had common sense. When I was at the airport the last time, my girlfriend asked me why I was standing so far from the conveyor belt. I loudly replied, Why stand right at the conveyor, blocking people's access to their luggage, when I can see just fine from here? Several people who overheard me turned around, and one woman even stepped back. Unfortunately, she was quite short, and her spot was immediately taken by someone else, so she had a hard time seeing her suitcase. It's a good idea, indeed, but it doesn't work because people are foolish. Stay in the right lane, pass on the left. There's always some idiot driving slowly in the left lane and thinking they have the right to do so. My 45-year-old colleague got fined because of this. She claimed she hadn't heard of this rule, even though she passes by 15 signs stating on her way to and from work every day. People, be aware that slower traffic should keep to the right, except when overtaking someone. Express checkouts in supermarkets. 15 items or fewer. I always end up in lines at these cash registers behind people who come with full shopping carts. When I'm in a hurry, I always go to the small grocery store near my house, even though they don't have the best selection or the lowest prices. However, their cashiers at the express checkouts refuse to ring up purchases for those with more than 15 items. I saw them tell a woman that she had to move to a regular checkout and place back in her basket items she had already placed on the conveyor belt. A man who decided to buy around 20 bottles of soda tried to convince them that it's just one item, and he refused to leave for so long, insisting on his point, that the cashier called her colleague at the adjacent checkout and began closing her own. 10 online chats like Omegle, Chatroulette, and the like. It's a great idea that allows people to combat loneliness and depression without leaving the comfort of their homes, but there are way too many sick individuals and trolling enthusiasts on there. So many that many people are afraid to use online chats. A local bakery used to give away unsold bread at the end of the evening. They stopped doing it because someone tried to sue them, claiming they got sick from their bread. The bakery I used to work at used to send all unsold bread to a food bank, but they stopped doing it because they found out that the food bank employees had started secretly selling their bread. Group projects. Expectation. Several people with different opinions discuss the topic, present various perspectives, and prepare a report that covers various aspects of the subject. Reality. One or two people actually do all the work. One person finds an excuse to not be involved at all. Another hastily adds something shortly before the report is due to claim that they contributed. And yet another person only shows up on the day of the presentation and asks which part of the report they will present. In the upper grades, we were often assigned group projects that we had to present to the whole class. I always sought out the most timid classmates who were terrified of speaking in front of everyone, those who definitely wouldn't want to talk in front of the entire class. I made a deal with them: you do all the work, and I'll do the presentation. That's what kind of a jerk I was. Sorry. In 1967, in Amsterdam, the White Bicycle Plan was implemented. A program was developed in which thousands of white bicycles without locks were placed throughout the city, and they were available for anyone to use. People could take a bicycle they came across, ride it to their destination, and leave it there for someone else to use. Unfortunately, the plan failed immediately because a significant portion of the bicycles was stolen in a very short period of time. Free item giveaways in Facebook groups. You want to do a good deed, giving someone a child's crib, clothing, and so on, and then you see that the person you gave everything to is selling it for money. This still annoys me. Or when you're in a free stuff group where people post ads like looking for a flat screen TV, no less than 40 inches, in perfect condition, or looking for a Michael Kors bag from the latest season, or other requests from people who themselves aren't offering anything.